There. According to the system, it says I'm live. Well, let's hope so. Today's reading goes by the title of Take a Step into Wholeness. I tried to find a quote that perfectly matched that. Really couldn't. The one that came closest was Tom Teese, who says, having a purpose is the difference between making a living and making a life. Having a purpose is the difference between making a living and making a life. And as I said, today's title is called A Step into Wholeness. And the first quote is from someone I'm sure everyone has heard of, Archbishop Desmond Tutu from South Africa. Forgiving is not about the other person. It is the path that we take to claim our own peace. And Ernest Holmes says, forgiveness is eternal and ever available. Forgiveness is eternal and ever available. And that's from the Science of Mind textbook on page 467. And this is what our writer this month says. He says, today I make a choice to forgive. I believe many of us carry a person or even a handful of people who at some point in our lives caused us grief, suffering, or pain. Hold on 1 second. Oh my goodness me, hang on 1 second. While I try and reclaim this. Hold on. Sometimes technology just has got a will of its own, right? So let's start again. He says, today I make a choice to forgive. I believe many of us carry a person or even a handful of people who at some point in our lives caused us deep grief, suffering, or pain. It's not our responsibility to justify their actions or to rewrite the past. Instead, we can choose to use our energy to send compassion to them. The compassion within you and within me acts as a cool wind, bringing relief, softness, and a sense of peace to the memory. As this compassion grows, he says, my breath slows, my heartbeat settles, and my mind becomes clear. From this place of calm, I can gently bring to mind the person or persons connected to that suffering and allow the compassion within me to surround them. This does not excuse what happened, but it opens the doorway to forgiveness. I can do this practice for a few minutes or even a few seconds, trusting that each moment of compassion transforms something within me. As I extend compassion and forgiveness toward another, peace expands in my own being. What I discover is that I am the one who becomes lighter. I find freedom by cultivating and returning to the compassion that is already living within me. And in doing so, I take a step into my wholeness. So in other words, forgiveness really isn't about the other person, because guess what? It's all going on inside us. So what I did actually, I went up to look up the root meaning of forgiveness. And it says here, so at its root, forgiveness literally means something like a complete giving away. The idea of surrendering a claim, a debt, or a grievance. And in Old English, forgiven, and it's spelled Forgiefan, forgiven meant to give up, to relinquish, or to pardon, including giving up resentment or the right to punish. So the bottom line message here is pretty simple. It's simply saying, well, it's really not about the other person or persons or thing or whatever it is. It's about us. It's about us dealing with what's going on inside ourselves. And one of the ways that we can learn how to do that is actually by doing our prayer work and meditation, our mindfulness every day, our breathing, to get back into that center of oneness. And just to think, as he says, it doesn't, if somebody did something horrible, it does not excuse what they did. But what you are doing is you are releasing what's going on inside yourself in relation to that person or that experience or whatever it was. So, I mean, it's a good lesson. It's a good reminder. We all know this, right? But we need a reminding of it. His affirmation he gives us, he says, I'm filled with compassion, and that compassion fuels peace. I am filled with compassion, and that compassion fuels peace. Today, I share this compassion and peace with the world. Today, I share this compassion and this peace with the world. So, pretty simple lesson, right? Take a deep breath. Let it go. So, sometime in the next not too distant future, think about something that's been really bothering you that you need to let go of. And then start taking a deep breath and letting it go. And just imagine that it's floating away, that you're releasing it completely. As I said, does not excuse what happened, but it does bring you peace and tranquility, which is the thing that matters. So my knowingness is that each person here is able to release any resentments they have and to move back into that peace and that tranquility where we belong. So please look out for Everett Lisa Ryan tomorrow, 9:15. Look out for me, hopefully around about 5 o'clock tomorrow. And until next time, I will see you all. Namaste.